Blog Talk Radio.
You are now listening to the most talked about blog talk radio station in the universe. Walking His Ways, Impact Voice Radio. Be prepared to have your mind stimulated, your spirit elevated in ways you couldn't even imagine. Introducing your host and the mastermind behind this unforgettable experience, Furman Jackson Jr. You will not be disappointed. Let's go!
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Walking His Ways, Impact Voice. I'm your host, Furman Jackson Jr., broadcasting again live from my hometown, my city of Mobile, Alabama. I hope everybody's having a great Wednesday morning, of course. I hope everybody's doing good on this lovely Wednesday morning, the day that the Most High has given us to see. A lot of us didn't get a chance to see this day, but He allowed us to see this day. He allowed the angels to watch over us on last night as we rest in our beds to give us that sleep. Because the Bible said He don't sleep nor slumber. So we got to get our rest because He's always watching. He don't sleep nor slumber. So while we're not getting no sleep, while we're slumbering, when that's His, when that's the Most High job to watch over us at night, and He sent forth those angels to watch over us and minister to us and just like another day of His presence, another day of His love, of course. And I know everybody's at work. I know everybody's at school, or some people maybe y'all, some people running their errands. There's always stuff to do. No matter where you turn around, there's always something to do. But the most important thing is always give Him your time. Always give the Most High your time, and I always want to seek Him because He will hold no good thing for those who constantly seek Him and those who come after Him. But this morning, if I get to start my interview this morning, it was a word that really dropped in my spirit this morning about dominant. And I was just looking up the definition as I was pulling it up on my phone, looking at the Webster definition of dominant. And it's just the one that really stood out with me was something to encourage you this morning, of course, is very important, powerful, or successful. And I just want to let you know that you are very important this morning. You are very powerful this morning. You are very successful this morning. I just want to let you know that those who are listening here on Impact Voice, that you are very important. You are very powerful, and you are very successful. So don't let nobody tell you you're not those things, because once you get into the word of the Most High, He will reveal your true identity to you. You are the apple of His eye. You are the head and never be the tail. You are above and never be beneath. You know, you're blessed going in, blessed going out. And you're made in the image of the Most High. And Revelation lets us know that He made us kings and priests in the earth. That's a beautiful thing. But you are very important this morning. You are very powerful and you're very successful. Never let nobody tell you you're not. I just want to share that this morning to the listening audience this morning. We're going to get jump into this interview. I have my guest that's on this morning. He's out of the city of Atlanta. He's a music artist, of course, in the gospel industry music. He's going to be coming on here talking about this album, God's Grace. You'll get to know this awesome young man who's all about kingdom business, putting in work. It's good to see men of color, standing up to the plate, standing up in the rightful place to be about men, being men of God, men of the God's own heart, men being in a God-given ability, their duties, being the head, being the husband, being the father, being the son, being the brother, you name it. Going back to the original blueprint. I know a lot of times we've been so assassinated with our character, the way they display men as being lazy, men being whores, men being trifling, men being all over the place, but there are some men out there who are doing the right thing, but it never gets showcased a lot because that's what the world don't want to see. They want to see a man in a native light, but the devil is a lie. Men have to be men. As men, we have to step up our game, men in every area of our life. but that's another broadcast. I'm about to get ready to bring my guest on this morning here on Impact Voice, and I just want to say, Gabriel Wheeler, welcome to Walking His Ways, Impact Voice.
Thank you, sir. How are you?
I'm doing good, my brother. Thank you for taking time out to be the schedule to be a part of the broadcast this morning. Way from Atlanta, Georgia. We're not too far from each other. We're like 4 hours away from each other. But I appreciate you again, my brother, taking time out to be the schedule to be a part of the broadcast this morning.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know it.
Awesome. And we're about to get ready to we're about to chop it up for a little while, introduce the listening audience to who you are. I know some people already know you. There could be some who don't know you. And get to introduce yourself to the audience this morning here on Impact Voice. And then we're going to jump off into this interview. And my first question is, like I ask everybody, who is Gabriel Wheeler?
Okay. Yes, sir. Gabriel Wheeler. Well, it's a pleasure to be on the show, first of all, and I give glory to God for the opportunity to have me. I know opportunities are coming my way, and I'm sorting out what opportunities to take, and I'm trying to take advantage of every one of them, but I can't always do all of them. But God led on my heart when I became friends with you that this was going to take place, and I'm just so grateful that I've had this opportunity to do this. Okay, so Gabriel Wheeler, he's a husband, he's a father, and most importantly, he's a minister of the gospel. I'm no different than the average Joe, and that's like sort of me being a realist, but still at the same time, I have devoted my life to the gospel, and I'm just trying to share my testimony with as much as people I can.
And that's what it's all about, being a willing vessel for the Most High and for the kingdom. But he's always looking for willing people to be about his business. And just your passion, your desire to fulfill the destiny he has for your life. And I know that you made a transition. I know you're not really from Atlanta. You relocated to Atlanta, but you was born in North Charleston, South Carolina.
North Charleston, South Carolina. Yes, sir.
So
yes,
how was
sir.
it growing up there before you made that transition to Atlanta?
Well, actually, like you said, the bio says I was born in North Charleston, South Carolina. However, in high school, when I got to freshman year of high school, during that summer from 8th grade to 9th grade, I actually moved to San Diego, California, and I spent a little bit of time there. It was pretty decent. However, there was a lot of negative things going on around that area at the time, and so my mother caught wind of it, and she moved us to Atlanta. And then when I got to Atlanta, things began to start picking up, as far as like my music is concerned, and just the ministry and the development and growth started kicking in, because like I said, was just getting into a freshman year of high school. But Charleston, South Carolina, and I'm not down in California at all, but that's just just the area that I was in. It was kind of bad. But North Charleston, South Carolina, Moss Corner, South Carolina. Gotta give a shout out to Moss Corner. Moss Corner is kind of like where I was raised. It's like 15 minutes outside of Charleston. But I went to school in Charleston as well as Moss Corner. And if you heard of Charlemagne the God, he's from Moss Corner, South Carolina. So we kind of know each other. He actually put my name in his book that he just published a few years ago. He mentioned my family's surname in his novel. But North Charleston, man, it was great growing up there. It was to me, it was the best. The ethnicity group was definitely a mixture. It was whites, it was blacks, it was Hispanics. and the schools were great. Um, it was definitely a clean and friendly environment for me to learn in, and just the community itself. It seemed like everybody was trying to help one another, and I think that kind of made up me as a person. Kind of just built me in and built it. Kind of basically gave me the mojo to make different transitions as far as like excelling in different areas of my life. So it really was a good training group program. And my pastor was Bishop Chambers, P.F. Chambers, right outside of Marion, South Carolina. So yes, it was definitely great. Schools were great. Everything was just great about it. The neighborhoods definitely definitely a great experience growing up in South Carolina.
And that's what it's all about. I know you said when you lived out in California, I know you said your mom, got y'all out for the environment. Cause we know back then we know that the gang activity, of course, in California is big, major, of course. And big ups to moms for getting y'all out of that environment, so y'all won't get caught up in that. 'Cause I know in that type of environment, it's so easy to get caught up in.
Yes, sir. It is. Yes, sir. And if you're not, um, and with me going in at the age, with a newcomer that's having grown up there, they kind of get lost in the sauce, sort of say, because you don't know what you're getting into, and then it leads to other things, and that's part of my testimony actually, because I was uh, dipping in and hanging around the wrong people, and my mom caught wind of it and was like, "I got to get my son out of there because he's not this type of kid." Uh, and the Bible says, "Train up a child in the way that he should grow, and when he is old, he will not depart from it." And so I had the word installed in me, but I needed more than just the word at that time. I needed somebody to put works in their faith and get me out of there because, like I said, I was young, and if I would have stayed around that environment, either two things would have happened. They would have rubbed off on me, or I would have rubbed off on them. And so she did what she did, what she felt was best as a mother, and got me up out of that environment. And I thank her so much for it.
And then that's a blessing. The mother's love and protection for a child. And my next question is: we can't forget about you're married. We can't forget about your help me because a lot of men out they gotta bring it up because the wife will get mad if they'll never bring it up. Of course, I know you mentioned that
Sure,
you
of
met your
course.
wife. You met your wife in high school. When
Yes,
you
sir.
met your wife in high school, how was it on that day that you would meet your future wife?
Okay, of course, of course. Well, Stacy, she's a virtuous woman of God. Um, she was actually a part of the praise team at World Changers Church International with Dr. Creflo Dollar as the pastor, and I was rapping on stage for the praise team. She was singing and I was rapping, and it was just one particular day when I seen her on stage and she was just rocking and she was just so, I was like, oh my God. And me and her kind of kicked it off then. She's my best friend. We have so many memories together, and I'm just so happy she uh, accepted my me asking her as far as marriage is concerned to be that woman to be here for me through thick and thin, through the ups and the downs. And she said yes, and we've been married, and we have two beautiful children together, and just looking forward for more great times in the future.
And that was up right there. And I respect, as a man of God and a man that's married, I respect it a lot because we have men nowadays who don't they're married, but they act like they're not married. They want to show off they single and they scared to show their significant other off with things like that. But I appreciate you and respect you to the highest for knowledge that hey, I am married. I do love my wife, and I don't care who sees it because this is who I want to be with. This is who I chose to be with, and I respect that a lot. Because some men nowadays they married, but they want to show like they single, and that's a big issue right there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I understand. And that's another thing with marriage. It's a commitment. It's a commitment not only with your spouse, but it's a commitment with God. And we have to. You do the whole 9 yards. You have to go in front of a priest or a representative of the gospel and make these vows to one another. So you're doing it in the presence of God. So it's definitely some ups and downs and when it comes to marriage, but I believe love is the fulfillment of the law. So if you're, like you said, me myself, man, I love my wife. I'm not ashamed of her at any way, shape, or form. And I give her the liberty as a man, and I don't know where I was taught this from because my dad really wasn't in my life, but I guess if you're listening, man, uh, you know, that significant other, that soulmate, she's there to help you. So allow her to help you, and that's the same thing for me. I have to allow her to help me, and even when I feel like I can do it myself, I still have to listen in to her and just give her that utmost respect and let her be the position. And ultimately, like a woman is a man anyway. There's no different from a woman and a man. It's no different between a Jew and a Greek. We do have different roles, but a woman is capable. Nowadays, a woman is capable to do everything a man can do. They can be, there's women's running for president. There's women, everything, basketball. I think they even started a football league with women. So a woman is definitely an important piece in my life, especially my woman, and of course my woman, and I just want to give her that space and lift her up in prayer, and definitely if you could pray for her as well, that we just stay on the right path and we don't get distracted when distractions come in the field, and I'm gonna do my part and love her and be there as much as I can for her. And as a man, my job is to provide. So that's my duty. That's why I'm out here doing interviews and working at 9 to 5. It's because I do understand the concept of marriage.
And that's what's up right there, having that balance in what you're doing, and I said having that support system. So that's important for any union, because I hear a lot of young guys who tell me, man, I'm getting married, and I'm asked about this all the time. Are you ready for marriage? Because marriage ain't all about the wedding, it ain't all about the honeymoon. Because reality setting after all that stuff over with, I mean, this is the person you say you're going to be committed to for the rest of your life, and try to get them young guys to see, hey, don't just, because she looks good or she has a nice body or things or she smells good. Are you ready for all that when she not smelling good, when she not looking her best? Are you ready for all that? That's a lot of things you have to ask a lot of these young guys, that are they ready for that commitment? Because a lot of them, they just get caught up in the outer appearance and don't even think about the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, Brother Jackson, they can't be hollow. They can't be shallow how. They gotta, walk in the spirit, And when you find that one, you'll know that that's that one. There will be no doubts in your mind. Everything will just go and flow. It won't be no hesitation, no second guessing. It'll just flow. So yes, sir, I agree with you.
And that's what's up right there. Because marriage is sacred to God. God created marriage between a man and a woman, and marriage not to be taken lightly. It's a gift from God. And like you said, when you find that right one, it's just gonna come together. You gonna know it because all the other women don't even matter for real. Even though temptation may come, but hey, I know this is my real. This is who God put me with. This is who God gave me. I'm not gonna ruin that. And so we're about to get ready to move on to the next one. How long have you been doing music?
Okay, yes, I've been doing music. I've been doing music for about 18 years now since I moved to Atlanta, Georgia. So that was 18 years ago. Um, and uh, I've been actually blessed doing it. I've been able to be a part of, like I said, I was attending World Changes, me and my wife. We're no longer there. We're at Free Life Church. And I've been actually a part of the World Changers International Christmas album, their Crunkfest 1 and 2 album, Ken Jones Grammy-nominated album, Birthday, Ken Jones Grammy-nominated album, Kingdom Business, and a McDonald's-sponsored mixtape featuring Ken Jones. It's been a long grind, but, 18 years, it's a long time, but I do have something under my belt where I can look at, and a lot of people may be doing music and be like, wow, you done a lot of stuff, but, I still got a long ways to go. So, yes, sir, but I've been doing it for 18 years.
18 years is a long time.
Yes, sir.
Okay, 18 years is a long time. And you're having fun with putting out, 'cause I know a lot of artists that's in gospel. I know they kind of get away from the title gospel and they're saying inspirational music because, a lot of artists now are like, I don't want to just be catered to a particular artist. I want to go worldwide. I want to reach those that are lost. And that's what the purpose of doing the music anyway is, you encourage the believer, but at the same time, you want to minister to the unsaved as well, because that's how I know minister to the unsaved as well also, because that's where the work at in the field for those who don't know the Lord at all. And better minister to them on their level can prick their heart and say, you know what, man, I like this, man. I need to see who Jesus is and how can I make it part of my life. Exactly. And I'm glad that you and many others are still in the field doing that, because we need that. We really do need it, especially in this generation, especially with our young people who looking at life in prison. Because I'm a correction officer, and I work in the county jail here in Mobile. And I'm seeing a lot of our young brothers, man, incarcerated, murder charges, robbery charges, drug charges, and these young men, man, they're looking at life in prison.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And it's go ahead.
It's weird that you said that, because I've actually done time as well. I've done 5 years in prison, and I don't talk about this often, but I did 5 years in prison, and it's something about that music, man. I mean, church, you go to church and the word is good, but and all of it plays a part together. And if you got brothers in there that are of the faith, I dare you to join alliance with them, and serve God together, serve one another, and watch God bring you out your situation. He did it for me, and I know He'll do it for you.
And He will, because it's all about being that willing vessel, believing in your heart. And that's what it's all about. And He going to take care of the rest. We do the small part. God going to take care of the big part. And I know you mentioned, you attend Free Life, Ken Jones congregation. When I know Ken Jones is a well-known artist in the world.
Yes, sir,
and how was it? Yeah. How was it working with him in the studio?
Man, I don't even think I got to look at my notes for this one. Man, Ken Jones, that's my bro. That's my pastor. That's my mentor. Working with him, I mean, it's okay. I was thinking about just music-wise, but even just working with him, period. He's a challenger. He's going to challenge you in each and every way, and it gets real difficult sometimes, because you like, man, you making all the money, but I can't pay my bills. But it's a process, and I understand. You have to understand the process, that just like when you're working at a job, the supervisor and the managers, they're making top dollars, but you come in as entry level, you're not necessarily making that type of money. and you have to wait your turn, and God will promote you. So, but working with him in the studio, I know you probably want to know that studio, man. It's like a 15-minute process. We're in and out. He's Ken Jones. I don't know if you know, but he's also a music producer, meaning he makes beats. So he actually does the beats and everything as well for a lot of his tracks. So when I'm in the studio, it's like he already has the beat ready, and he may or may not have his verse put down. But even if he haven't wrote his verse, it's all still a 15-minute process. He will press record, and we go in, we knock it straight out. It's in and out. It's no games or any of that. It's just strictly presence of God is there, and you can feel the presence of God when you're in the studio with him. It's like it's a relaxation. It's real. It's just like ease. It's like, okay, I'm safe now, and you just go in there, man, and you just do your part, and he's gonna record you. And he actually, I know when I first started, like I said, I've been doing it 18 years, and that's like one of the first music artists that I met when I came to Atlanta. And so he kind of like coached me. He was already in it, so he kind of coached me throughout me recording some of my segments on, like if you heard the birthday song, I think he helped me record some of it. He was like, don't do it like that. He was like, you said too many words in that one line, so try to drop that word and say this. It wasn't like he was, and he wasn't forcing his self on me. He was just like, or his style on me. He was just basically like, like just go in, do you, but you make and do that like this, and I'll do it. And so now that I've got down there, he gave me that formula. I kind of still use that formula today, like when I'm writing my lyrics and stuff like that. I can basically lay it down and don't have no worries on how it's going to come out. I know, it'll be sounding properly the way it's supposed to sound. So he's a great guy. He just started. He just moved his church to McDonough, Georgia, which is in Henry County, and he's actually just got sworn in as one of the youth representatives for the whole county. So yeah, so he's doing big things, and I'm just so happy to be a part of this church, this ministry, and we just building. We're definitely trying to grow, and so yes, sir. But it's a 15-minute process. We're in and we're out that studio.
And that's what's up right there, working in the spirit of excellence, working in God's essence. That's what it's all about. And we're about to get into the meat of everything. We will still be in the meat, but the deep meat part of it, your album. Okay. So you have an album called God's Grace. So what can the listeners gain from the album?
The love of God is here for you no matter where you are in life. God will sustain you if you trust him. You can expect your youth to fall in love with this tape. It's positive hip-hop. It's nice, clean music with nice beats to ride to. A great listen. If you're headed out of town and you need something to listen to, just pop this on.
And how many tracks is on God's Grace?
Yes, sir. It's 12 tracks.
Okay, then that's what's up. And where can the listeners purchase the album?
Right now, it's available in all digital stores. You can spec a hard copy at local events. So if you would like to book me, please call 770-899-5178. Or you can get in contact with Mr. Jackson, and I'm pretty sure he can point you in the right direction on what you need to do.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Be a part of that. I know you sent me one of the songs. I think it's a remix you sent me with you and Ken Jones, The Professional. And before we get off the broadcast, I'm going to play that for the listener audience before we get off the air this morning. And my last and final question, I ask this to my guests all the time. Proverbs talks about a good name. it says a good name is better than riches. So at the end of the day, what do you want your legacy to be?
Keep striving and put your best foot forward day in and day out. Don't give up. Don't lose hope. Keep the faith. Trust God. Jesus is the way.
And that's what it's all about, man. Just keep God first, stay humble. And we're about to get to cut everything short. Before we get off the air, I'm about to get to play the professional remix with Ken Jones and Gabriel Wheeler. So y'all check it out for the very first time. If you haven't heard it, I'm about to get to play it. And that's to the end. Everybody, y'all have a great Wednesday. Enjoy life. Remember, be dominant. Remember, you are successful. You are powerful. You are special. Remember that. So I'll see you here tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. on the East Coast. My next guest is going to be Tony Nicole. She's a CEO out of Charlotte, North Carolina. So she's going to be joining with me tomorrow afternoon. I'm about to go and play the professional remix with Ken Jones, Gabriel Wheeler. Y'all have a blessed morning. See y'all next time. Peace.
Watch So Lord, all but I'm praise gifted. All of a sudden atmosphere shifted. Like God, get lifted. I like the place with my eyes closed. The public behind doors. Like the place when I'm doing shows. Me go. Slow it down, we can do it fast. Clap with some crash. I can even play with my cash. With a G, fucking mad. Let everything that have breath. Believe if you ain't seen that. Make the folks wondrous ways. You a broke I'm a pro, sleep on it. 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 I'm a pro, what I do. Well, if I said you can do it too. You can even do it with your crew. Be alone if you can hear me, you. God is better than a pot of green. Righteous mistaken, that's something that I never seen. Sunday best so you can put them in your jeans. Praise the Lord, Psalms 117. I was made for this, pray for this. Don't have to get paid for this. I slave for this. Praising you on that plane. That's what I call praise. Everything's got a different praise. Different place for a different phase. You want praise? Like Messi's on my feet. I'm a pro, sleep on it. I'm a pro, sleep on it. I'm a pro, sleep on it. I'm a pro, praise. I'm a pro, sleep on it. I'm a pro, sleep on it. I'm a pro, sleep on it. I'm a pro, praise. Watch me do it. I'm gonna watch it crank it up, man, without music. Load the black night, do it right, do it when I get right, do it, people get right. Hey, hold on, I've been around for so long, and when I start to feel it, ain't nothing that can go wrong. Ain't nothing to it, I can do it like that. And I don't need fluid, just to lose it like that. My girl said the bad, but she opened up the wall. Who said I need to find it, just see what's going on? Break up the song, gotta bring it down. Hey, DJ, bring it down. Put my hands in the air, make it speak down low. I do it everywhere, ain't nothing on the down low. Hey, you can do it too, go ahead and give it a try. I'm a pro, that's for show with it. I'm a pro, sleep on it. I'm a pro, sleep on it. I'm a pro, sleep on it. I'm a pro, praise. I'm a pro, sleep on it. I'm a pro, sleep on it. I'm a pro, sleep on it. I'm a pro, watch me. Watch me. Watch me. Watch me.
All right, everybody. That was Professional with Ken Jones and Gabriel Wheeler. I thank everybody for tuning in. Thank everybody for checking us out this morning here on Walking His Ways, Impact Voice. I'll be back tomorrow afternoon with my next guest, Tony Nicole. She's going to be joining with me. She's going to be talking about her business. She's in the entertainment industry out of Charlotte, North Carolina. So I want everybody to have a great morning, and I'll see y'all next week. Peace. Tomorrow. Not this week. Tomorrow. My bad. Buddy.
You are now listening to the most talked about blog talk radio station in the universe. Walking His Ways, Impact Voice Radio. Be prepared to have your mind stimulated, your spirit elevated in ways you couldn't even imagine. Introducing your host and the mastermind behind this unforgettable experience, Furman Jackson Jr.